Well, hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. And today it's my turn to do another from the label to the table recipe. And a couple of us in this collaboration, and all of the creators are down in my description box. You can go to their channels, watch all the videos. It's super fun. And it just brings some nostalgia back because quite honestly, when I was a young bride, I had relied on those kinds of recipes. I didn't know where else to get them. We didn't have the internet, all that stuff. So it was either hand-me-down recipes or the Betty Crocker cookbook, or, you know, if you wanted to make something different, you had to try some label recipes. And some of them I still use, actually. But this one is coming out of this book. And all these recipes, it says at the very bottom, recipe reproduced with the permission of the company that it came from. This one comes from the Quaker Oat Company. We're going to make Quaker Tempting Apple Crisp. Quaker Tempting Apple Crisp. Say that 10 times. Okay, super easy. The hardest part is waiting for the oven to preheat and cutting up your apples. It's telling me 4 cups of apples. I don't think that's enough. I've cut up all my apples. There we go. We want a nice layer. And if I have to make extra topping, I will, but I'm not going skimpy on my apples. And keep your hands cleaned up like they were in the beginning. All right. Come on in and we'll mix up the topping. It's so easy. It's kind of scary how easy it is. There's nothing to it. And apple crisp is so good. It doesn't matter what time of the year. These are Honey Crisp and Cosmic Crisp. No, sorry. Honey Crisp and Pink. Not Pink Lady, just pink apples. Okay? So I have one big Cosmic Crisp and then three of the pink apples. So this is, I might need a bigger bowl for this action. Let me get a different bowl and we'll start this party. Okay, come on in. I'll get a cup of coffee. You're gonna need it. And ooh, do you have vanilla ice cream? If not, you've got time to run to the store and grab that because you're gonna want it with this apple crisp. All right, so we've got our apples in there, and now we are to put a tablespoon of lemon juice. I did sprinkle some fruit fresh on these apples, although your Cosmic Crisp apples, they don't oxidize like other apples. It's very cool. Okay, so we kind of evenly get that running around there. And now we can get to our topping. So our topping consists of brown sugar. We need brown sugar, oats, flour, salt. Okay, so let's get our flour down. How much flour? 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And okay, got that. We need 1/2 cup of brown sugar, firmly packed. Da-dum. And then we need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's pretty easy. Let's measure that out. And if you're using kosher salt, it's a little more forgiving. I'm using a finer grain, so I'm going to be careful not to overdo that. We need cinnamon, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and ooh, it's going to be good. Okay. And then a cup of these oats. Now, these are not Quaker oats. I buy the organic oats from Costco. So these are not quick cooking oats. These are, it doesn't say one, I guess maybe it did say. I'll look in just a second. I'm making a mess. Don't bother me when I'm making a mess, please. I don't know if this is going to be enough topping. I might have to do a little bit of moderating and change this up. But for now, that's what you're going to get. Okay. And I'm going to need a some kind of utensil to get that work together, right? And we're going to get our butter in there. Oh, it might be enough. Okay. Kind of mix that. Break up your brown sugar. And your cinnamon has to be fully incorporated in there. You don't want pockets of stuff that are not. So you've got a third of a cup of melted butter. Just pour that right on in there. And I always use salted butter, so that's another reason why I'm super careful about the salt. When I'm using a fine grain salt, I'm not so careful when I'm using kosher salt because the grains are bigger. All right, now we'll get this all crumbled up together. And this is just such a great dessert any time of year. And now we get apples all the time. All year round, we're getting apples. So the brown sugar is going to melt down into that. Oh, my mouth's watering. Love a good apple dessert. Okay, now that we have that all done, this is how easy it is. Over to the little bitty bit of apples, and it says it serves 4 to 6, which I would say yes, that's probably accurate. Although I have more apples than 4 cups, but that's okay. Get that all over the place here, and then I'll judge whether I need more topping if I have to make another batch, which I think I'm going to leave it just like it is. It's going to be just fine, right? Okay. Yum, yum. Because those apples are so sweet. So there we have it, where it's going in a 350-degree oven for, it says, for about 30 minutes. So super excited. And this this baking dish was a gift from a sweet friend. We were just talking, and I told her I was using this. I use this thing all the time for every casseroles, you name it. It was a wedding gift. So, all right, in the oven it goes, and I'll bring you back in 30 minutes and we'll look at this. Yum. Hey guys, this was in the oven about 35 minutes, only because I had more apples, but the whole house smells like heaven. It is so wonderful. And I'm not a big sweets eater, but I have a weakness for apple crisp. So I'm going to, I think I can, this is now, it's still very warm, but look how beautiful. So excited. So you want to serve it warm. Because why? Because you're going to have some ice cream on top. And look at that. Look at that deliciousness. You just cook it until you can pierce the apples with a fork and they're soft. When that happens, you're done. Okay, I'm not putting too much on here because, well, I guess I get to have that one because somebody escaped. Okay. And then a little scoop of vanilla bean. I think that's in order, even though this is hard as a rock. Let me soften this up a bit and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a little spoonful of ice cream on here. I'm not going to eat all of this, but I am going to have a taste test for you. I softened the ice cream in the microwave. Let's get a perfect or apple crisp bite. I've got an apple, I got some topping, and I got some ice cream. Wow. The apples taste so bright and fresh. I'm not even joking. Okay, I'm gonna have 2 bites and then I'm gonna give the rest to my husband because I don't need 2 bites. They just add on to my waistline. It's so good though. What an easy recipe too. It's a little different than my normal apple crisp, but not much. That is divine. It doesn't matter what time of year. And the cinnamon is so little that you really don't, I mean, it's there, but it's not overpowering at all. The apples absolutely stand face forward. I think that's because of the lemon juice and not too much cinnamon. Anyways, guys, I hope this inspires you to make a recipe from a label or get yourself one of these cookbooks. I'll try to leave a link. Although when I bought it, it was the last one. Some of these old vintage books, if you can find them at a thrift store or you can find them online, they're really fun to have and they're fun recipes to try. So again, go check out all the links below. Look for every day, all week long, we're gonna have recipes coming up. All of us have a day and I'm on Mondays. All right, we'll see you next Monday. Bye. So this recipe is easy and delicious and you can put it together with all your pantry staples as long as you have some apples. They don't even have to be fresh. They could be canned.